Hello. Let's finish this league. I need to get my mana traders back, so I'm gonna just queue up and I'm just gonna shut the door. Just 2 seconds. So yeah, just need to polish off this league best I can, and then I mean, I'm hopeful we can achieve something. I mean, someone managed to 5-0 with this list, so there's obviously some potential here. It sounds marginal because if I find land, it's turn 2. Glittering Wish turn 3 Jeskai Ascendancy, but you do have the ways to find the land. So turn 4 kill. I think we can do better. I'll mulligan. This is about the same, but it has the land. I'm going to keep, and I'm going to shove this to the bottom. These two combine to do nice things. I don't actually know what Spectacle reads like. In case if an opponent lost life during the turn. So if they crack a fetch, you can use this. So maybe I just put the gut shot on the bottom and hope that this is live. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm just going to play land, go, save my life total a touch, and then turn 2 Glittering Wish and hope I've drawn the land by turn 3. Oh, against burn. Attacks another target attacking knight you control. Equip abilities you activate to target. Cost 3 less to activate. That's pretty sweet. I am reading. So you'd assume some sort of like equipment deck with the new +10/+10 trick. Blue red seems fine here. Okay. Blue red is not fine. What an idiot. Oh well. We will be sleight of handing for a breeding pool, and then we'll pass. It's kind of annoying, and not just kind of. It's very. If we'd have Glittering Wished there, we had 2 lands on top, so it would have actually been pretty good. That's tough for us to beat, but that's a card we can use to try and beat it. The way this has panned out, I'm getting a lot of options here because my life total is going to go pretty low, and then this is like if they have another one, this is actually worse for me. I think I'm just going to play the birds, play the tap land, go, and then hold gut shot until their end step, or respond with it if I need to. I'm 2 humans so far. Guess it's dead. Yep. I've shown them enough info now so they know what I'm on. And because they can't possibly cast another Thalia, I'm going to get rid of that to save. Like, I took 2 getting 2, so that's okay-ish. Jeskai Ascendancy. Jeskai Ascendancy. Jeskai Ascendancy. Okay. Yes, please. Jeskai Ascendancy. I need to survive 2 more turns, which I don't think is overly likely 5 cards in hand against red-white. It's not out of the question for like a sword to come down and then equip onto this. Ugh. That's painful. That's pretty painful. No idea what the opponent's doing. But they are beating us. They might take that if they're feeling like tricky, crafty. Realistically, I'm down to 10. This would put me on 9. And then next turn there's another 5 there. So that's putting me down to 4. And this would put me to 3. So like, I'm a bolt away from dying. They have 3 cards in hand. I'd like to get a few more, just a bit more info on what the opponent's actually doing, so I know when I'm boarding. I probably just board in the Path to Exile and the Fiery Justice, is my guess. Just more removal for that. We take 1. It's not the worst draw ever, but this is pretty expensive and the life total front. The plan here is to assume, if they attack, that they have no lightning bolt. Red-white. Is it just red-white Eldrazi with like Stoneforge? And that's why the champion's in there. Yeah. So now they can go get a sword of like fire and ice, equip it to this, and that would be 9 damage. It would equip for free. Yeah, so this has got Pock Blue, and it's going to be a 3/3 that can shock. So I'll take 5, and I'll have to chump this. So yeah, so just red-white Eldrazi with some with these for some reason. Like I say, this puts me to 3. So if I draw exactly Jeskai Ascendancy, I can play it, and then I can untap a land. But then I can't use these, so I'm basically dead. I don't think there's an out. I'm 99% sure there's no out here. And the opponent's hand wasn't exactly exciting, was it? I fetched wrong early. I was kind of lazy, and then it's had catastrophic effect. Alright, so I just concede here. Right. Let's try again with a path. Maybe the Pyromancers and the Fiery Justice. I just really don't like this light up the stage gut shot package. Well, the gut shot isn't bad here. It's just like passable for the lilies, for the Thalias. Sorry. I think you can trim some stuff like this when you bring in the Pyromancer. I think. I'll try this. See, gut shot might be dead every time they don't have Thalia. What have we got? We have 6 ways of killing Thalia, so it's not too bad. Maybe it's the birds that's meant to get trimmed. I don't know. Our best draws are turn 1 birds, so let's see how this goes anyway. Well, can't cast any spells, so that has to go. It's just cast spells, but they're not good spells, but I think it's still a keep. And the Wisp goes on the bottom. Click done. I can't really get Basic Island with this in hand. So I guess it's like Breeding Pool this. I think we just need to go for the Yeah, I think we just have to ignore our life total pretty much. We'll take the Fate Stitcher because eventually that gets the job done. Wouches. I mean, that is annoying. Let's not sugarcoat that, but let's just go get Werther, because we can cast the White Half and then we can cast a cantrip, but we're a long way from comboing, which is the main issue here. We need a land and a Jeskai Ascendancy now. So yeah, we know we can only play one spell, but let's get rid of that, and then we can play more spells. That's a bird. I think we just bottom both of these. Next turn we play the bird and the sleight of hand. The problem is that using all your cantrips to find your Jeskai Ascendancy means you don't have your cantrips to be able to go off. Sort of Fire and Ice is certainly beatable. Okay. Bird, sleight of hand. And now we just like... Mana Confluences hurt like hell. So now, like, if they play Thought-Knots here, we lose something good, no doubt. I took the land because casting Fate Stitch is actually pretty reasonable against cards like Thought-Knots here. What have you got? What have you got? Sort of Feast and Famine, okay. So, if I play this, they can equip, smack me for 3 and then shock it with the mode on there. So I think I just have to bolt it and then play the land and then press go. You see now, if we were to draw Jeskai Ascendancy, it would just be sat there naked waiting for them to have a response, because we can't actually follow up with anything. Right, so they have no creatures at present. If they draw that 1-drop red creature though, we're in a lot of trouble. But if we get to untap with this, we should be ahead. Big if though. We know they're a bolt deck, and we know that it's the red creature that's a real issue for us. Okay, that's beatable. Screw it, I'm just going to play another one of these. Try and play fair for a little bit. So we probably have to tap down the Thalia first off. But only if they equip it. So we'll let them have their mana this turn. But then next turn we get to like tap Thalia, tap a land. And if they're stuck on 2 lands, we should be okay. Tap. So now does it have Pock Blue? I can't tap it going forward. That's awkward. But we can tap 2 lands, so... Does have Pock Red as well, so it's got protection from this. I've maybe played this wrong as well. Which is a phase I'm using too often with this deck. Ooh. I'm kind of in the market for all of that kind of stuff. I could tap this. We might be able to go off here. Why did I put Young Pezzy on top? I don't know. That's 6 damage, so that's a problem. Oh, I'm actually dead. Oh no. I screwed up massively. I have screwed up hugely. I'm so bad at Magic. Oh well. Oh well. I just want to see what would have actually happened next turn. Oh, they shocked that and not me. Huh. So they missed the fact that they could kill me. But I don't have any red mana. Oh, they're just going to kill me anyway? Oh. They're just brutal. Let's just pay a life and get this done with. Let's have a look. Game. Right. Well, I definitely misplayed this second match, and I definitely misplayed this fourth match. We won the third, and the first was a pretty dire matchup where I probably didn't mulligan enough either, but mostly I haven't played well, which is annoying. So let's play the last match. I mean, it's kind of demoralising because I played poorly. Like, I always want to play well. It's also demoralising because if I don't win this game, I'm out of play points. Go fish. These are the kind of hands I've been keeping and losing with all through the league, but I'm going to keep it again. I've actually been mulliganing these on 7 and then getting a 6 that looks basically the same. So I've kept it. Well, they're down to 5. If they keep going, I think there's a good chance that they're either well, alright, there's quite a few options that they could be, but both Dredge and Neoform mulligan very aggressively, so when I see people mulligan a lot, that's my go-to sort of, that's what they're on. Definitely don't want the land. I think I'm going to keep the Caryatid. To start with anyway. Dredge. Okay. Let's use a pain land. These have been bad in multiples, but okay when they're by themselves. But you see them in multiples way too often. So it looks like, I would assume they have something like Cathartic Reunion for them to keep this hand that just goes Forgotten Cave Pass. That's not normal in Dredge though, is it? Okay, well, I'm casting a lot of Fate Stitches, which is usually a bad sign. But let's cast it. There's quite a few decks that could go Spiral of Canal and Forgotten Cave. Like, not particularly popular decks, but like anything with Venom 6 probably wants Forgotten Cave, or anything with Life on the Loam. I still think I'm still erring on the side of Dredge, but it could also be like an Asphaltoad deck where they just wanted the extra thing. It could just be like a decent rug control deck. It is Asphaltoad, okay. Well. Jeskai Ascendancy. Come on. Yes. There's a chance. We're not actually like guaranteed here, but we do have like this is pretty castable actually. Okay, well I'm going to lead on tapping a land and then play sleight of hand. Yes, I would like to use that ability, that's why I tapped it. And we will loot because we've got loads to get rid of. We'll start with the mana confluence. That's a good draw. You should be able to get there from here. Should. Fingers crossed. 10-4 is not overly exciting, but yeah, like these are all netting me mana, so that's good. Yes, please. And let's sleight of hand. We can loot again. I did red because we have the light up the stage. Got a second one. I really needed like a good shot now. Oh, bolt. Yep. Bolt does the trick. Bolt you. Add red and tap this. Add red. And then I don't loot here because I like the cards in my hand, so I just click no, bolt you, and then play light up the stage, cast Spectacle, and just add like white on top of this. Don't loot because we like the cards. And we hit Glittering Wish and a sleight of hand. So let's tap that down. Yes. Play Glittering Wish, yes. Add blue. Don't draw. Untap the guys. Look for a card. We're basically there now, so I'm going to get Flesh Blood. So I need another red. Let's tap that down. Yes. Let's play Sleight of Hand. Again, we don't loot. Just untap. No. Go. Grab. Peek. Oh, let's use that because you never know. Oh, this is lethal now anyway, so let's stop going through all this. Click no, just look at the opponent's hand, draw a card. Seismic Assaults. This is a lone deck with the As Foretold combo, which is kind of cool. Green, red. Choose out creature you control to deal damage. Choose your face. Everyone on taps. We don't loot. We do U9. And then we just go to combat. Swing for 9. Kill you. Ha ha ha. Gotcha. Okay, got him. So, I don't really know how to sideboard against this. I'm pretty sure I don't want the young pyromancers. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. The gut shots are bad, and the lightning bolts are bad, so then the light up the stages are bad. So let's just see what we actually like. We could bring in Wear Tear Leave Trophy in the board. We could bring in Guttural Response, Silence, Failure, Comply. That is not enough cards though, as you can see. which is awkward. The reason I don't like young pyromancers is because there's a good chance they have the star balance in their deck. There's a good chance, but it's not guaranteed. But like, Life on Malone really does encourage you to play the stuff that blows up all the lands. But I just don't like the light up the stage gut shot lightning bolt package, so screw it, let's just bring them in and see. If we see restore balance in this game and lose the game, I will board them out. And I can't keep this hand because it doesn't have enough land. This hand's better. This hand's okay. The peak's not bad actually here. So Wisp is probably the worst card. Green Wish is just a bit slow actually, but we kind of want this as backup. Well, we lead on birds because you always lead on bird, but they could have bolt. I don't think they're a Cascade deck, so they can play whatever they want, as in 1-drops and stuff, which is why we saw 7 visions. So they just play off of Electrodominance and As Foretold. They didn't crack, so maybe they're slightly low on land. It's pretty reasonable to assume. Taking the gut shots out means that I don't have a turn 2 kill, or the option of a turn 2 kill. I'm just gonna go with the young pyromancer, and then I'm gonna peek at some point, maybe in their draw step. I'd rather force some interaction from them and have this Ascendancy as backup, but I realise that if that interaction is restored balance, I'm pretty screwed. Nah, let's end step it. Like they could crack this fetch and then in response to Electrodominance and then resto. Okay, Ancestral Vision. So that means they don't have As Foretold. Could also mean they don't have Electrodominance, but it could mean the opposite actually. So they just have a better suspend card in their hand. But let's go find out. If we just draw land here, might be able to do some damage. Electrodominance, that's restore balance. So they suspended that because they literally have no reason not to. It's pretty rough. Okay. We don't really want to play into anything else, but they're going to upkeep this. No, they should have upkeeped it because now I get to play out my best card. And then they very likely Electrodominance here. This survives. Oh, they can Electrodominance Crashing Footfalls. Oh, punt. I can see why they're not doing. I can see why they'd want to hold restore balance. But like with this and these, I can. Because you've got to remember, if they play Electrodominance and restore balance, they'd be down to 2 cards in hand, now 3, but They don't upkeep it for a second time. So I'm going to fire this off while I can. And like, all this is really doing is, yes, it's getting me a card out of the sideboard, but there's not much I need. But what it's actually doing is just growing the tokens enough without committing the cards that I actually like. It's not a blue instant, but anyway, we don't need that. Do need that. There's not much in this sideboard, if I'm honest. There's two cards that are any good. I mean, I could play Jeskai Ritual, but I think they just respond with the Restore Balance. I kind of get what the opponent's trying to do here. They're just trying to hold on as long as they can to not have to fire off the balance, because the longer they can wait, the sooner their Ancestral Vision comes off. Having said that, I'm going to just... I'm doing this again, just... I do have to force the situation a little bit. Don't need a bird. Green, black. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is probably enough now to make them go, wait a second, I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to loot, because none of these are actually that good. So we have 12 power that's attacking. Just want to land here. Yep. I'll shock. Mainly for guttural response, but I can't imagine me needing guttural response. I think they crack the fetch and hold priority. Ah, they crack the fetch and hold priority, so I shouldn't have played the Steam Vents. Stupid, stupid, stupid human. Stupid, stupid human. I knew that because I said it earlier, but I didn't do anything about it. So I now get punished. I would like to keep blue, red, green, blue. I will sacrifice all my creatures. I will keep that, that, and that. It's such a stupid move to play this. Because I knew it. Fair enough if they get me with a trick that I hadn't spotted, but I actually spoke about it. So that was just ultra stupid. And now I have like 2 turns to recover, hopefully. It just really depends what the other 2 cards are. If they have the other 1 card, if they have like, as foretold, I'm pretty far behind. But if I can get this into play, then I'm kind of ahead. I'm going to shock so I can hold this up. This hides it best. This makes it look like a path or something like that. Which is why I did it this way. And guttural response, if we do start to go off, it's a card I don't mind discarding. So it might be that there's just nothing to guttural response. I think the Pyromancers have done okay here. I'm not really sure how to evaluate it. Dominus X2 makes some 2 4/4s. Yep. So they're going to put me down to 6. Then I get a turn to try and combo with 3 cards in hand. It's not that likely. I've not seen a blue instant yet. Yeah, so it's quite hard to understand whether Young Pyromancer's really done anything here, because it forced them to use their little combo, which is a good thing. It's good to try and get that out of the way, but would I be better off just like with more cantrips? And it's even harder to say because I got to discard excess ones that I really didn't need. So we know their last card. We know one of their last 2. We now know. The top 4 cards you like, we put one of them in your hand, the rest on the bottom in only order. Okay. So we know they have Ancestral Vision in hand, Ancestral Vision on suspend. We know we're dead to these next turn, so we basically just have to try and combo off. Good card, please. It's not a good card, it's a blank. I'm going to loot both of these away. I'm going to assume they have no interaction with just a Stomping Ground open. Either land can go first. I can play this as a do nothing, just to loot, but that's not good, like you're down a card then. So, I don't want birds, I do want 7 visions, and I would like to loot with my silence. I mean, it's not as if it's done nothing. Maybe I should have saved that and just not tried to combo, but then I'd be forced to jump block and I would lose, so no, I think this is okay. Have to draw a spell here. That is a spell. This is very difficult. Don't loot because we like the card in hand. No. Take a look. Yes. Take Scarscale Ritual. Play Scarscale Ritual. In fact, let's play that differently. Shrink this. And we're just trying to fill up so that I don't want to loot still. Just want to draw some cards so then I can start looting. I can start looting. So there's a trick here, pretty sure. So if right, I'm going to loot, see what that does, and then I'm going to try and work something out. So if I was to play this, bounce this, I get a loot. Yeah, that's worth doing. Because then I can draw another card. Yep. Loot. Discard the Breeding Pool, that's good. Get the Silverillion Wisps, that's also good. Choose card name until your next turn. Your opponent's cast spells with that name. Okay, well that's also okay-ish. Don't need to loot here. Though maybe I should. Yeah, I'm going to loot just in case we draw Fate Stitcher. Can I get into the stage where I don't need mana though? Maybe that's wrong. I do need mana, don't I? Let's loot. Fate Stitcher, well. Bottom, top, get back Fate Stitcher, untap this, add, yes, add blue, play this, loot, untap, draw a card, Sky 1, draw. Yep, that's fine. White, green, untap this, Glittering Wish, don't loot. Yes, getting there, I think. I think we're getting there. It's hard work, but we are getting there. I do not want to loot. I do want to look at my sideboard. I want to get Flesh Blood. Okay. So now I need green-red for that. So let's untap this. Pretty close now. I think this is it, actually. This is enough. Blue for opt. Do not loot. No. So that's 15. Yeah, this is enough damage now. Amazing. Deck got there. Bottom that. Okay. Name a red or blue card that can screw this up. A red or green card that can screw this up. I don't think there is any. Green, red. Cast blood. I want that to deal damage to that. I want that to be tapped. And I can loot. Oh, yep. Deal that many, attack you for 5, win. Whew. That's kind of dodgy as, but we got through Restore Balance, which is pretty nice. So let's wrap this up real quick. 42 minutes to play those two games. It's quite a slow deck because of all the triggers, especially like the opponent there didn't F6 or anything. But okay, so things that I didn't like. Unfortunately, I don't think these are good enough. Like, I don't think the synergy with Light Up the Stage and these is good enough, because Light Up the Stage doesn't put the 2 cards in your hand, so you can't loot them away with Jeskai Ascendancy, which is a bit of a small point. But also, if you hit a Fate Stitcher, you just lose them forever, and that's quite a big point. In addition, this is just too many cards that do very little in the early game and are not good in the combo turn. So like all of these cantrips on the combo turn, they loot, which is good, but then they also replace themselves. So whereas these are always -1 card, and it's too much -1 card. So I didn't like this package. I like zeros in this deck because it lets you go turn 1 bird, turn 2 Jeskai Ascendancy, play a 0 and try and kill them. We didn't get any of that in this league, unfortunately. But it does happen. Like, it's not impossible, you know, birds into Jeskai Ascendancy into 0 drop. But these aren't the zeros for me. The only reason to play Gut Shot is to turn on these, and I just don't think that's a good enough reason. So for me personally, I would cut all these straight off the bat, and I would add what's the card called? Some brain needs to help me here. Abundant Growth. So this card is pretty unassuming. It's pretty unexciting, really, and I probably wouldn't run too many of them. But what it does is makes all your lands gold, but the upside of that is that it means that you don't have to crack your fetch lands, and you don't have to take a pain damage from these mana confluences, which did really start to add up in a lot of matchups. These were a real issue. Like, you might take 4 or 6 damage from these lands, and it's just too much. And a deck that can, which is quite often just comboing on 3. The other problem I had was that or maybe even 4. The other problem I had was if you were going like turn 2 Glittering Wish, turn 3 Jeskai Ascendancy, turn 4, play a spell so you can loot Fate Stitcher into the yard, and then return the Fate Stitcher and try and combo off. The problem I had with that was that it's a turn 4 kill, but you might have to tap this for Glittering Wish, tap it again for Jeskai Ascendancy, tap it again for the loot and the Fate Stitcher. So you just take 3 off one land, and all you have to do is add a second one into the mix, and you're just way too painful for like a turn 4 kill. But that's kind of leads me on to the other part, in that these are good mid combo. You saw there that last game that it sort of just like finished off the game when I found it mid combo, but they're not your best kill. Like I say, going turn 2 Glittering Wish, turn 3 Jeskai Ascendancy, turn 4 loot into Fate, it just isn't that impressive. So, but Sylvan Caryatid does give you really good ways of just beating into action. Play it on 2, play this on 3 with a mana up to start the combo is so much better than the Fate Stitch route. So I would swap 1 and 1 for that. I would also, if your budget allows it, I think Manamorphose is a good card because it does add mana mid combo. Obviously, if you tap a bird to cast it and the bird untaps you, it nets a mana and it also draws a card. Whereas like something like Light Up the Stage nets a card but doesn't, but it costs 0. Whereas this nets a card and costs -1 in essence. This nets a mana but doesn't draw a card. So Manamorphose is like a combination of these two. So I think it probably should be a 4 of. The other card that I would add. So what am I at? If we do this, I'm down to 3 more cards that I can play. So 3 more cards. This is a card that is pretty much only playable in this deck. I don't think you want too many of them, because often you have to discard them when you don't have mana. But mid combo is pretty good. It turns a loot, which is you're basically obviously when you loot you go add 1 card, take away a card, so net 0 cards. It turns that net 0 into an extra card, and it gives you another loot and another pump. So it turns a 0 into a 1, so it's basically a free card, which there's not too many of these that actually are plus a card. This is actually plus a card. None of these are plus a card. Nothing here is plus a card. They're all replace themselves, so costs a card, gains a card. This actually generates a card, as well as Skarsgård Ritual, so therefore Glittering Wish nets a card. That's pretty slim number of cards that do that. So you could argue 1 or 2 Nagging Thoughts, and then what's the blue card called? I don't know if you can just like, you can just like do that. Does it? What's it looking for? Does it know what I'm trying to do here? It's like on something. It's going to crash in it. Oh, it's in mana order. Let's go up to the 2 blue. I'm sure a lot of you have already figured out what I'm trying to find here, but Chuckles, how are you, mate? I'm struggling to find the card that... Do you know the name of the card that draws 3 and then discards 3 at end of turn? It's an arcane spell. Does this work? It does, actually. You are catching the end of my stream. I'm on my Ideas Unbound. I'm on my wrap-up, so bad timing, I'm afraid. So yeah, so like these would be my changes. Ideas Unbound is not plus a card pre-combo, which makes it bad, but is basically plus 3 cards mid-combo because, because you try to kill them before you have to discard 3. So it's plus cards mid-combo, it's not minus cards prior. It does cost 2, so I don't love it. It is crap before the combo, but it does ditch Fate Stitchers, which is, this deck used to run like a Faithless Looting or 2, because you could loot away a Faithless Looting and know you had it later, and you could also Ink Trader. I don't think you want Ink Trader, do you? I mean, Ink Trader. Whenever I play cast an instant spell, if that spell targets only this, copy it. So it doesn't copy it because... Ah. So what are you meant to do? Target it with like a Cerulean Wisps, and then for each of the creatures that spell could target, each copy targets a different one. I don't like Ink Trader, it's just pointless. You can run Summoner's Pact plus Verdant 4 mana, Verdant Eidolon. What that does is it turns your Manamorphose, Jeskai Ascendancies and Glittering Wishes into a free card, which is pretty great. You could just run it as a one-of, and Summoner's Pact it up. Summoner's Pact is obviously a 0. Oh, that's what we need. We need a 0. You've got to live the turn 2 dream occasionally, so we'll add a 0 instead of an Ideas Unbound, and maybe in front of another Abundant Growth. This is what I would run if I had no budget concerns, and I mean, it's not, this isn't even adding much mana. Manamorphose does cost some money. It's not adding much actual value to the deck. Is it though? Ink Trader, does it make... Whenever I play cast an instant spell, if that spell's targets only it, copy it. But like, I only have 4 spells that target. Yeah, I only have 4 spells that can target it though. I thought Peak and Opt were okay. These are the best cantrips you can play, but you can if you don't have these, but you have the Ops lying around maybe from a standard deck or because they're cheap, just play them. Like, it's going to be okay. It's not going to matter as much in this deck as it would in others. If I was building this like without budget concerns, there's probably some Gemstone Mines going in over these, but we're playing this on a budget. If you want to trim the budget further, gets a bit trickier, to be honest. You could drop I think you could add a basic plains, for example. You could drop one of these lands for a basic plains, probably a mana confluence. The sideboard is pretty cheap. Like, everything is pretty cheap here, right? Like, I've just made all these changes. Manamorphose is the most expensive card in the deck, probably. If you were to cut the Manamorphose, I would add probably just Peak and Opt, unfortunately. There is the red Wisps. It's like Crimson Wisps. This is fine. It can turn, like, if you have a Jeskai Ascendancy in place, you can... Oh, Jeskai Ascendancy spiked, okay. Well, that happened before I started the league, unfortunately, but it still came in well below what what I needed it to. But yeah, you could swap these for more Peaks and Ops. You could swap... you could bring in a couple of Crimson Wisps, because what that means is if you have Jeskai Ascendancy out and you've just like sat there with a Crimson Wisp and no Dork, you can rip a Birds of Paradise or a Caryatid and just go, Birds, play Crimson Wisp, it has haste, kill them. And if you add that card, maybe the Ink Trader gets a little bit better, but I don't think that's probably the case. Other things you can cut, I mean, this could just be a Butt Decay if you've got one of those knocking about. None of the other sideboard cards are particularly expensive. Probably wants a little bit more removal now that I cut the main deck bolts and gut shots. But honestly, like, how do you make room? Well, guttural response isn't great. It's very rare you're going to be able to go play Glittering Wish, get guttural response, untap, play Jeskai Ascendancy, and guttural response your counter spell, because they know you have it. So they're just going to play their cheapest counter spell and hold up enough mana to play a second counter spell, or they're going to just ignore guttural response and tap out maybe. And that's a situation that's pretty good, actually. If they ignore guttural response and tap out, it does mean that it's clear to go. But mostly this card doesn't. It's just way too slow for Modern, in my opinion. You're probably better off just like slamming another Silence in the sideboard. Silence is a main deckable card as well, so if you are not particularly high on Manamorphose, you could cut one for main deck silence, and you could cut another for main deck path. Like, just give yourself 2 outs that you're not going to draw them in your opener very often, but mid-combo you're going to find them because you draw so many cards. And you could cut a Noxious Revival for one of those spells, for example, because Noxious Revival, again, is card disadvantage, so which is what we were trying to get away from with the gut shots and the lightning bolts and the light up the stage. This card, yes, we still have some card disadvantage, but it's only 2 cards instead of like 9, so that's fine because the payoff is occasionally turn 2 in someone. You do have to have a target for this, so if no one's played a fetch land by turn 2, this might not work, but usually it does. So plenty of options to make it slightly cheaper, plenty of options to make it, like, Grove of the Burnwillers could easily be Copline Gorge if you've got one of them. These could be City of Brass, but that doesn't combo particularly well with Abundant Growth because it takes your damage whenever it's tapped, not to make the mana, so this is better. I mean, you could probably just go like 4 Abundant Growth, 4 Mana Confluence, 4 City of Brass, and just get rid of the fetches and just go balls deep on this, and a damage lands, which isn't great, but you know, you have a linear combo deck, commit, it'll be fine, it'll be cheap enough to build, you can do it. So yeah, plenty of options, and that's me just about done on this. I may run this back with this list, because I didn't perform particularly well. It's been a while since I played this deck, which is disappointing, but also I didn't feel like the list was particularly great, which, like, I'm not trying to diss the guy who came up with it and 5-0'd with it. I think, like, it's great that he's taken a rogue deck, tried something new, tuned it a little, and 5-0'd with it. Like, that's awesome. That's what I wish everyone would do. But it just didn't work for me. That's just personal opinion. Didn't enjoy it, didn't love it. So I would play something slightly different next time. And maybe, yeah, I definitely need some more removal because Thalia is a big issue, and I have nothing to deal with that. So I probably would just like go Path Silence there, add another couple of Path to Exile to the side. Maybe just one. Maybe cut that. Add a Decay. I mean, again, that's just like some nonsense, really. Like, you can find an answer to everything with just like where to. So maybe you could just run a couple of gut shots. If Thalia is the main concern, just like do that. Chuck this back over here, and then add another removal spell of your choice. I know. Lightning Helix. Let's use Lightning Helix because it's impossible to cast. But mainly because it's tutable removal, and it gains you 3 against burn. Like, it's probably a load of nonsense, but whatever. Like, take your pick. Whatever you got lying around in your box. This is what I'd run back if I was to do it again. So yeah, that's me done. Thanks for watching. Hope the wrap up was useful. And yeah, check out my website, budgetmodernmagic.com. Still got a bit of work to do on that, but check that out, and I'll be back soon doing some other budget stuff. And some non-budget. Check out some of my other stuff as well if you get a chance. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.